font on this. I image twice to get the two different colors. But I want this outline that's right now showing in black to cut out in brown. So I'm going to cut that in brown cardstock. And then I want this secondary piece right here, the little door frame part, to cut out in red. And I'm going to save all the pieces that cut out. I'm also going to cut it one more time in pink because I would like the little keyhole part right there to be in pink. Of course, if you have your gypsy, that will just be one cut, and you will hide, select, contour the different pieces so that you don't have to cut it 3 separate times. So once I get all of my pieces cut, I'm going to cut this little tag at 3 inches. The key that I want to use is back here on page 35. I am not going to cut that at 3 inches. I want it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to cut 2 pieces to that key. I'm going to cut the base image right here. So I'm going to do it at 2 inches, and I'm going to cut it once in pink, and then over here it says base phrase shadow. So I'm going to cut the base shadow at 2 inches as well, and I'm going to cut that in brown. So I want the top layer to be pink, the bottom layer to be brown, and that's what I'm going to use for my key shape as well. So once I get those pieces cut, and I'm going to have you watch me enter it here. So I've got the little button 20 in. I want to hit the shift key. So there's my shift key, and then you'll notice that that image changes right there. Okay. Now right now I've put those side by side, and I'm going to change the size right from here. So I'm going to press my little edit button, and this button right here changes the size, and I've got it set for 2 inches right now. I want that 3 inches. And I'm going to save that and save it again, and then I'm going to check on this image to make sure that is edited properly, and I'm going to make sure that one is 3 inches. Okay, so I have those as 3 inches. Now I want to show you what that looks like on your mat. You can see there that they are sitting side by side. Now I've got my paper spaced. So what I'm going to do is go back to my image queue here, and you see down here at the bottom row I've got my backspace, my space, and my enter key. So what I want to do is add in between here, I want to add a couple of spaces. Now I could add 3 or 4 spaces, but what I can also do is edit my space. So if I tap on that button and hit the edit key, I'm not editing an image but just the space, and I want to say that I want that space to equal 3 inches. So I know that it's automatically going to move over 3 inches from where it finished the last cut. And actually I think I might want that just a bit smaller. So when I save that, if I now go back and look at the mat, you're going to see that it instantly moved over enough so that that image will start cutting in a separate spot on the mat. You can do the same thing with an enter key. So if I wanted to cut that image twice, I'm just going to copy it. You'll see that it puts it right next to it, but when I go back to the image queue here, I'm going to add an enter key. And again, I'm going to control the space of that enter key, and I'm going to make that 3 inches as well. So when I save that and go back to my mat, you'll see that I have my base image here, I have the shifted version there, and then it entered it and moved that down 3 inches. If you can count those squares right there, that would be 3, and it moved it right under that last shape. So that's just a helpful tip on how to use your E2 and control placement of your objects on your mat. If you want more information on how to do things like that, proper placement on your mat, even with the E2, everything's so easy with the touch screens and that. There still is a little bit of a learning curve on how to do these little shortcut type of things. My new book, The Cricut Expression, How to Make the Most of Your Machine, has detailed examples and explanation of these quick tips. So you can pre-order that now through Amazon.com or check out my website to get more information on how to order that. But once I get these pieces cut, I'm going to show you how to assemble that to create our cute little Valentine glass project, which makes a great gift idea. I've completed my cuts, so here are the pieces. I've got the one door frame, and I'm sorry I keep calling it a door, but the one back piece to the start of that door tag, whatever you want to call it. I've got the 2 pieces to my key. I'm showing you my Cricut mat here because I've been selling these different colored Cricut mats on my website. They are Cricut mat just like you're used to. I know the 12x12s have been hard to find. This particular mat made by Simply Craft is fantastic, just exactly like the regular Cricut mats. They even look pretty much the same except for the light pink here in the center. It's more like a peach color. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Everything sticks and it cuts wonderful just like normal. So there's my piece. And you can use that like you would a regular Cricut mat. So there are my pieces I am using. I did end up cutting an extra one of these door frames, but I didn't need that. I only wanted this piece that's going to be glued right there. So this is how I'm assembling the piece. I am going to use the red for the centerpiece right there. So I wanted to use a couple of these colors, and the black, excuse me, not black, the dark brown is going to sit in the center there, and that's just so my little pink lock there will show through. Now I'm going to use a white gel pen and a black pen to add some detail, and once I glue my key pieces together, I'm going to glue this like this so. And again, if you've seen my prior videos, you know that I like to use a Zig two-way glue. It's the ballpoint pen style, which makes it really great for these little pieces. So I'll be gluing that piece together like that, and I'll also be adding some glitter glue. So when I get those details put together, here's what you end up with. So I've got the key piece right here that I've glittered, and also to set the glitter, I use some glossy accents over the top, so you can see that sparkle there. And then this is the back piece that I've assembled all of those cuts. I added some black pen work and some white gel pen. I also punched a hole in the back of that and strung some of this, I'm not even sure what you call this, but the Christmas wrap ribbon, the curling ribbon, and I put a little piece of that on there. Now the reason I made that loop is because I wanted to show you this new bow maker that my husband has made for me, which I will be selling on my site as well. And you may be familiar with this style bow maker. It is a wood block, and my husband has created some grooves on it. He's finished it off so it's all smooth and polished, and the little pegs here are all sanded smooth as well. And you can create a bow this big, and you just move the pegs depending on the width of the bow that you want to create. Okay ladies, so to make a bow with your bow maker, you're going to cut kind of a long piece of ribbon. This is about 12-13 inches long, and you're going to leave yourself a little bit of a tail on the right hand side here. Then I'm going to take this piece that's kind of off the camera here, and I'm going to wrap it around both of those pegs. Okay? And you're going to start to make kind of what looks like a karate belt loop. You're going to tuck this piece that's on the left underneath, so it goes under both pieces of ribbon. So you're starting to make a knot there. You've got one ribbon coming out the back, one in the front. You're going to come over the top, and then right here is where I would normally have you switch hands. I would have you do this move, okay? But for a second here, I'm going to use my little cutter bee tweezers, which I like to do to just grab that for me. I'm going to prepare this piece, which I showed you just a second ago. So these are my 2 die cut pieces. Now if you wanted to write on the back of that, do a to from, or do the Cricut cut that says, you hold the key to my heart, you could do that. I just used some curly ribbon to create a little loop there with a knot, and that knot's going to get hidden. So once I've prepared that, I'm going to slide that in the back piece of ribbon here on that back leg, or the bottom piece. Okay, so you see how that's being tucked in right there? Now I'm going to go ahead and switch hands. So this piece I'm going to hold with my left, and the top piece I'm going to hold with my right. And I do that just so I can easily complete my knot by tucking that top piece underneath and pulling my bow. Now as I pull that, that knot's going to get tucked into that knot. And you can start to see how your bow is coming out perfectly on those pegs. And if I pull this through, and then slide this off the top, let me move my block here, you can see a perfect bow made with the bow maker my husband created, and then I can just trim those tails, and that piece is ready to be attached to your finished project. Now to do the project, I've got just a glass here I've picked up from $1, and I've got these, they're called, I think they're favor bags, that you can pick up at your local craft store. Now these have the self-sealing top, and that's not so important. You don't need that. But what I do is just insert that into my glass, kind of like so. And then I purchased, my grocery store has a bulk bin, so I just purchased some of these candy hearts in bulk, and I can just start funneling those into the bag. So you're just going to toss those into your bag is full, and you can decide how much you want. Also, whatever container you use will kind of tell you how full to make that. So I've got a finished one here. So when you've got the bag all completely finished, and I do it in the glass so that you don't fill it too full and then it's hard to put in the glass. I've got the little top. I use some curling ribbon in whatever colors you'd like, and I just knock the top of that and then snip off the self-closure portion. See how this has a glue strip right there? I just snip the top of that off. So you've got just a cute little knot right there at the top. And then with just a simple glue dot, I'm going to take my little bow that I created with my tag and just glue that to the edge of the glass. And you've got a fantastic little gift to give your sweetheart, teacher, or neighbors. It's just a fun little giveaway. You can do this for any holiday, and it would be tons of fun. And thanks for watching today. Hope you enjoyed this Cricut cartridge review, and that you'll stick with me through the following 2 more episodes to completely cover the Sophisticated Teresa Collins cartridge.